No, but it wasn't that.
A school of barracuda.
It wasn't a shark, and it wasn't a barracuda, and it wasn't a moray eel, and it wasn't a jealous lover.
Then what was it?
Tan bodies, cool water, hot nights, a vacation you'll never forget, even if you want to. There's a problem in paradise, and it's hungry.
They're more vicious than anything you can imagine. I couldn't say anything. It's all classified.
Piranha 2. That's spawning.
Each year, 10,000 tourists visit Ocean Beach. This summer, Ocean Beach has attracted something else. American International presents Tentacles. It slept until man disturbed it. Then it woke with a fury no man could control, rising from the ocean floor to bring destruction and death. Tentacles. A chilling tale of nature gone wild as two of the sea's deadliest enemies fight to the death. Starring John Huston, Shelley Winters, Bo Hopkins, Claude Akins, and Henry Fonda.
I can't believe we're actually doing
The
this.
most gripping suspense you will ever experience. Rated PG.
Oh my.
It's finally time.
Yeah, like utter summer trash next week, and you're gonna love it. Piranha 2 and Tentacles.
Yeah.
What a double feature.
Yeah. I can't wait.
It's a big idea to get used to.
You know, fucking asinitis all over this piece next week. I can't wait. Oh, get ready. I wish I had the skills to wear to make the outfit that Shelley Winters wears. Shows up next week in Shelley Winters cosplay for this.
Shelley Winters must be stopped.
Oh my god.
I can't wait to tell. In fact, I'm really glad that we're going to do Tentacles because it's about time we talked about Shelley Winters more on this show. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have we done any Shelley Winters movies? Oh, I know one already.
I don't know what's the one we did.
The Visitor.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of a Shelley Winters movie. She's not really in it all that much, is she?
No, I love that she's like a maid that once had an alien baby and killed it.
Wasn't she in The Sentinel? Or no, I'm thinking of The Tenant. Sorry.
Tenant, yeah.
Did you like The Tenant? We never
I've never
talked
seen
about
The
The
Tenant.
Tenant.
I've never
Oh
seen
my
it.
god.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. I really like The Tenant a lot. I don't know why we haven't done that on, Roman Polanski.
That's all right.
But
He's fine. We can do it. What everybody
he's not fine, but
he's not. His
Yes,
movies
okay.
are, but yeah. What did everybody think about the movies tonight? I hope everybody dug it.
Yeah, wow. This movie really goes there in a big way. For something that was so low budget, this was very ambitious. And of course, we didn't talk about it. There was a student film originally. I'm not really sure what the difference is. Can you talk about the difference in the cuts? I can't.
I can't, unfortunately. I wish we knew someone that did, but maybe somebody in the chat does. But yeah, it's definitely strange. And there's a lot of, Jenny said, is this oddly Jewish inclusive? Yeah. Also, if you have a dream catcher, you can stop demons. That's what I learned. So I need to start wearing a dream catcher around my chest and a crucifix in my pocket, and don't drop it out of your pocket.
Yeah, she just didn't care. Did she not know that was the thing that was keeping her safe, was the crucifix? I didn't think that she
I think
ever caught on.
Everybody was told to hold on to their symbols, but they were just like, I mean, is it that bad? We're just trying to have a picnic. And then some big monster came out and threw an old man around, and from there on out,
That was rude.
It was super rude.
I'll come right out and say it.
Was the park ranger trying to pick him up? That's what I think. I think everybody, I agree. I can't remember who said it. I think Alden maybe said it. Everybody dropped acid and shit got nuts. And then a park ranger was like, I should take advantage of this kid and tell him he's in hell. And the only way he can get out is if he blows me. And He didn't get out, and then he's like, "Give me my crucifix back," and they injected him, and then the girl, a demon version of the girl, comes to kill him at the end, I guess. Where is
I
that?
really don't know what that was all about. Yeah, I guess it was the time was up because it was supposed to be a year and a day.
Yeah.
So maybe he had been institutionalized for that long.
Yeah. I do love that thing at the end, that like Grim Reaper thing in the sky. That's probably the scariest monster in this. It's
Yeah,
awesome looking.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
It just kind of like blew up out of the ground right in front of him, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's the coolest looking. It looks like a Dio cover come to life, and I love it.
You almost couldn't. I think the thing that made it really scary is you couldn't get a really good picture of it. That effect worked really good because there was lots of billowing material around it, and you couldn't really get a good look at it. At least I didn't.
I
I
like
didn't
that.
couldn't make out the form.
I like that the monsters in this go from like the whatever the ape thing from the cover is super scary, right? And like the flying demon, depending on which version of it, it's pretty scary. And they're like, let's just paint a guy blue and give him a loincloth, and that'll do. But you know, it works.
That bat thing was so cool.
The bat thing's the coolest, yeah. And yeah, he says his name's Asmodeus, which is one of the many demons of hell. I know this from listening to lots of Electric Hellfire Club because they would have a couple songs start with those samples of the Black Mass.
Electric Hellfire Club.
That's what
I can't believe you just referenced them.
I used to come out to their version of South of Heaven for wrestling. That's what I used to. My entrance
really
was. Yeah, and then we used to come out to when I was in a tag team. We used to come out to Shout at the Devil, their version of it, because they were on every Cleopatra. This will not be my last Cleopatra Records reference tonight, by the way, Bill. Just spoiler. But yeah.
I just saw something that came out on Cleopatra Records, and I meant to tell you about it, and it escaped me.
They sent a Blu-ray to me, and it's got some of their artists on it, and I'm so excited to share. That'll be in the movie segment later. But yeah, this movie's pretty metal, and I like that demon flew right into a crucifix and blew up. But like even when it blew up, like God was like, "Hey, what if I kill the main girl just to do it?"
Yeah, it didn't help any of them.
And they should have been like, God, could they not make this book in paperback? Because that book is so big, it's hard to carry. But they kept dropping it, and also
God was kind of a dick to them.
God was a dick to them, and also Bill and I talked about that. This is really a movie about scrapbooking, and if you're really into scrapbooking, this movie might be for Bill and I have talked about getting a book like that and going to a scrapbooking class at our local library and being like, we're just trying to put our grimoire together, but we always thought this would be fun to do scrapping.
We found a secret compartment in a graveyard, and all this stuff was inside of it. We're like, we're gonna have to do a scrapbook.
Yeah, we should turn this book that has human flesh, probably pages, into a scrapbook. At least they didn't record it onto a reel-to-reel like another place I know. Yeah,
I found this face. I'm going to put that in the scrapbook.
The book is a weapon, Jenny. You're correct. The book can be used to hit people.
Why didn't they just keep hitting the stuff with the book? That's what I didn't understand. It can do that. So I think that's the only time they tried that was when the flying thing came after them. Or was it something else? I don't remember.
Also, they're the most... There's no way for me to say this about Spartan. They're the biggest bunch of laconic motherfuckers you've ever met because they're just like moseying around. And it's like, if a giant... The only girl that was smart was the girl who got demonized because she was like, let's just get out of here. And he's like, no, we have to bury that old man that we have nothing, we don't know anything about. You know what? Go get the cops and whatever it is and get out. Get out of here. Yeah. And
the cops are just going to show up and there's not going to be anything there anyway. So just leave.
The cops are going to shoot that giant ape thing first, not even ask it questions. We know what's up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, like tonight was about humans throwing spears at things way bigger than them. The spear tonight was the great equalizer of the movie. If you had a spear, you could probably kill something way more dangerous than you.
I guess a sharp stick is better than nothing at all.
I guess the walk. What's that? Walk softly and carry a big stick. Everybody lived up to that tonight. That walk slowly and carry a sharpened stick. That's the way to survive Equinox. Or as it's called,
I like it.
Or as it's called in Monongahela, Exodus. It only played in Monongahela, my house, as Exodus.
They thought the title Equinox was too much.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Can we dumb it down a little, please?
We want to make this sound like a religious movie.
Yeah. It's the barrier. Equinox is the barrier, very phantasm. The barrier is referenced, it's shown, and then at no point are we like, in very phantasm, they go to the world where it happens and the color is different, and then they're like, that's it. Why did we do that? We just did it. Why? I don't know. Great. Awesome. No notes.
It was a moment of mystery because you kept wondering what was in there.
Yeah.
What does it look like in there? So they finally showed you.
I like how formal that kid is because he called the demon Mr. Asmodeus. He didn't even like it's a demon. Like it doesn't get like a Mr.
Yeah. Sometimes, use all your best learned politics or I'll lay your soul to waste.
Wonderfully said, Bill. Can you guess Mr. Asmodeus' name? It's Mr.
Asmodeus.
Yeah. Good thing I listened to all that Electric Hellfire Club when so it all worked out, right? But
I really dig this movie. I'm so glad we watched it.
It's great.
Because I had totally forgotten about the flying thing and how fucking awesome that was.
I just want a supercut of just that thing flying around with like Black Sabbath playing. You know what I mean?
I
like
know.
Dio
it reminds me of the
Sabbath.
cover of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath for some reason. Or there was like a gatefold thing in the middle of it. I don't remember.
No, that's totally it.
It was very Black Sabbath.
I think it's very Dio Sabbath, not Ozzy Sabbath. The later, like someone said to me once, like, I hate Dio and Sabbath because all the songs are about dragons and magic. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's what every song should be about: sex, Satan, magic, and dragons and drugs. And that's
they just wanted the same old shit over and over again. That's all it was.
And also, they're like, I like when Ozzy just sings to the guitar part because he can't sing any other thing else other than sing to the main guitar line. But not that I don't like Ozzy, but I prefer Dio in my Black Sabbath. But anyway,
that's controversial.
Super controversial. But I'm in it. Neon Nights is a great song. Mob Rules is great. It's in the movie Heavy Metal. That whole album is awesome. I like Sabbath 4 is my favorite Sabbath now. That said, how many people do you know that got married wearing a Black Sabbath 4 shirt other than me? But
well, there's like a different band with
totally.
With don't you think so? Like
100%.
I don't know. I'm not
they're
really
way
like a Black Sabbath expert or anything.
They're way groovier with Dio, and they're able to do I think more stuff versus like with Ozzy.
Yeah.
I feel like they're a little more limited with Ozzy. They're good with Ray Gillian too. They're Ian Gillian, but I really like them. But I just like the Dio's voice with Sabbath. Like Neon Nights is like a great song. Like it's really, really good. The thing I like about Sabbath the most is like when they have like just like the funky breakdown parts and stuff, you're like, wow, like they can do all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about them. Like Supernaut's one of my favorite songs ever. So four is great, but also the volumes all over the place because they were so coked out. They had no idea, so.
Weren't they coked out for everything?
Yeah. I love them.
Something doubt.
Oh, I love them. That's how I got into metal. Was like when I wanted to be a priest in 4th grade. Yeah, I think I told you about this. And
before or after you wanted to be Kolchak?
This is after I wanted to be Kolchak. I wanted to be a priest, and when I was a teacher, knew this and gave me a list of bands to warn my friends about. When I got to Black Sabbath, I was like, they're named after an Italian horror movie, and all their songs are about monsters. Like, I got to investigate, and then well, that's it. That's how you do it. That's how I learned that Styx had backmasking.
I was lucky. I heard all that shit because of my dad's records.
Oh yeah,
he had Paranoid and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Steppenwolf, Zeppelin, all of that stuff. Like I used to listen to that when I was like 3 years old.
Well, you listened
I
to Led
listened to that
Zeppelin in the
stuff.
womb. I mean, you were at the
Well,
concert.
I did hear it in the womb too.
Yeah, yeah.
3 days before I was born, my mom
Yeah.
attended a Zeppelin concert here in Pittsburgh.
But yeah, my dad had Zeppelin, but also my dad had all, like I've talked about before, he had all the Walter and Wendy Carlos records, which blows my mind that my dad was super into synth stuff and had really cool records. And then I guess he had me and he was like, yeah, I guess I know. We'll just listen to Commodores now.
My dad didn't like synthy stuff.
Dad,
He was like a Bob Seger dude. But you know, he did like really early on. He had a lot of the glam rock stuff. Like he had Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal.
Wow,
that was what I know, right? Like I listened to that really early on. And what was the other one? Oh, Electric Warrior. He had a copy of Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. He had that too. Like all this shit now, you think back to that and like there was so much good shit that was coming up.
I saw speaking of Bob Seger, I saw there was a cover band playing the Fayette County Fair tonight called Hollywood Nights. And I was like, okay, I guess you're going to have to do that song now. So I've decided to start a new business where I name your cover band. So if you come up with if there's a band you want to be in a cover band, like where you only do like songs by one band, I'll come up with your name. So that's what I'm working on. Neon Nights would be my Sabbath cover band name.
I also got Alice Cooper records from my babysitter.
Wow.
Yeah, she loved Alice Cooper, and I was like, bring Alice Cooper records over next time you babysit, and she did. She brought over Killer and what's the one with School's Out.
School's Out, yeah.
And she never babysat me again. So I still had her records. We left them there.
I like $1 Billion Babies a lot. I love all.
What was the one that came in a cardboard box?
Oh, I can't remember.
Muscle of Love.
Muscle of Love, yeah.
It had like this elaborate packaging, and they all did.
Yeah.
The early ones. Anyway, there's the one where he's in a mental institution.
Welcome to My Nightmare.
No, it's like a gatefold.
Oh, wow.
And it opens up, and you can see that it's called like, what is the title of that album? I can see it. Anyway.
I had the comic because he had the Marvel Super Special, and I had that, and I had the Kiss one, of course, too. And I just reread those over and over again. I didn't have the music; I had the comics. How this is possible? Hey, Lee and Mark, thank you so much for sponsoring this week's show. We all appreciate it.
And if you would like to sponsor a program and get your name in lights on the Drive-In Asylum double feature, and is that right?
Right.
Small donation via PayPal to groovydoom@gmail.com. We're talking like, $5. You really don't have to send a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
my parents listened to Barry Manilow too. But you know what? Barry Manilow was so big. Like I can't even explain how big he was. Like
Manilow was huge.
Yeah. They listened to him all the time. And but you know what? I think about it a lot, like in the 70s, like in 70s and into the 80s, you had such a big mix of bands that were on the radio. Do you know what I mean? You could listen to so much different stuff. And the top 40s were wild. When you listen to like a Casey Kasem top 40 from then, you had like every genre reflected.
You didn't know what you were going to hear on the, in the top 10.
Yeah.
There was just so much. And there was a lot of obscure shit that ended up going all the way like into the top 10 or sometimes even number 1. And then you never heard anything else from them again.
I got all excited because there was a thing that was on YouTube. It was like the strangest songs to make to be hits. And I was like, oh, cool. This would be something I can send to Bill. And like the strangest song on it was Putting on the Ritz. And I'm like, we can go way weirder than that. Come on,
If you think that's weird.
Yeah. If you think that's strange. But yeah. I know
it's kind of weird though. Like I was watching this taco video where he did this when that came out. He did a tour. It was like a tour in Germany where he would perform in the window of a department store in a mall. And there was like this weird set in there, and there was a TV set with all these strange, obscure shots of him.
Oh,
And then
wow.
they would carry him out like he was a mannequin. Like two guys would carry him out and put like a cane in his hand, and he would like come to life like a robot and sing "Putting on the Ritz," lip sync.
Hmm.
And it was fucking awesome. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this kind of thing actually happened.
My
It
JC
was
Penney,
weird.
my JC Penney had a MTV section for a while, and they had it split for boys and girls because that's how we did it in the 80s. And the girls section was all Madonna, like like the wrist stuff, like everything to be like borderline era Madonna. And then the guy side was all Def Leppard stuff. That's where I got my Def Leppard sleeveless Union Jack tank from. But yeah, I just remember, and they had a TV just playing music videos. It's like, man, the 80s were awesome. What a time to be alive. I thought I was going to grow up and I just could watch MTV all the time, and I can now, but there's nothing I want to watch on it. So
there's only like the music stopped somewhere.
Yeah.
Started recycling over and over.
But there's still good stuff if you know where to look for it. So
yeah, I'm just old.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, don't listen to me.
Well, no, I think about it a lot because like people always write like, I don't know what music kids are listening to today. And I'm like, yeah, that's because most music's for 16-year-olds. Once you're past 16, like, music's not for you anymore. Like it's cool. Like, you had your bands when you were 16 too. And that's how it is.
Copacabana was the first, my first exposure to what a disco mix was.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the 45 had the radio version on one side, and on the other side was like a 12-inch mix. And I didn't know what that was at the time, and I was like, this sounds weird. But then like I think of that all the time. That's the first time I ever heard an extended version.
There was an Oasis and Oasis Records in Youngstown, and they had all the 12-inch mixes there, and it was the first time I'd ever seen them. And to this day, I'm so upset because they had Barnes and Barnes fish heads on a picture disc, just a fish, and I was like, why didn't I buy that?
They used to have that at B&D Records too in Springdale.
Why didn't I buy that? You know what I did? I had the disco mix of Miko's Star Wars, the one that has like all the the different themes, and I listened to that nonstop, Bill, nonstop.
What about Ewok Celebration?
No, I didn't listen to that. Yub Yub.
Yeah, and then there's a rap section. Somebody raps about the Star Wars characters.
Oh man. David in the chat and I were talking this week about Laura Branigan and how 4 of the songs on her first couple albums were all Italian disco songs, just redone, and nobody knows. Like Self Control is a great song, but like, yeah, it's an Italian song. Like it blew my mind. That's a great song. Of course, I like that they're like, oh, disco was dead in the U.S. I'm like, was it? Just changed its name. Like, it was never dead. Come on.
No, it was just like, there was a certain kind of disco that was faddish it existed before it was faddish. And then after it wasn't faddish anymore, it still existed. It just wasn't like, a cultural phenomenon anymore.
Yeah, William Friedkin, that's right. Chris said directed the video for Self Control, and it's a total Mario Bava joint. It's awesome.
I remember that video.
Oh, do you have crazy people directing videos? What's his, Don Coscarelli directed Last in Line. Speaking of Dio, he did that video, and also you have the Billy Idol video for which one? Toby Hooper did one Billy Idol video too. So. Man,
there was somebody that it just blew my mind recently. Who was that? We were talking about it on the show. Somebody that worked in music video. You know what it was? It's Daniel Pearl.
Yeah.
The cinematographer for Texas Chainsaw, and of course, many, many other things. And he worked a lot in music videos. And I was looking at the credits to Thompson Twins Into the Gap Live. It's their live concert video. And he was the DP on that, and I was like, oh my god, like I must have watched that thing like 500 times, and it's a Daniel Pearl joint.
That's awesome.
Wow.
It all comes full circle, huh?
I know.
Oh,
Thank
great.
God.
Yeah. Oh, I think I always have like these nexus points where things cross over like that. I'm like, oh, that's why I like that. That makes a lot of sense. So I hope everybody enjoyed Equinox, not Exodus, tonight. And yeah, Tracy, you're right. Russell Mulcahy made a ton of Duran Duran videos, and yeah, he directed Razorback, tons of films. The Mummy, one Mummy movie he made, which is not good. But yeah, his style's maybe a little more suited for music videos. He also did The Saint is another Russell Mulcahy joint, that remake of The Saint that nobody remembers. I love whenever there's times where movies start getting made, like all of a sudden we got the Shadow, and like after Batman, like they're like, and if it's a comic book or like a serial, like we suddenly got the Shadow, and it's like, who is this for other than me? What can you do? So it looks like we got some ads coming, Bill. I'm excited.
So I was looking for something that I wanted to show you.
Yeah. Ooh. I am excited.
Well, there were a couple of things, but the one that really stood out was this weird movie. Let me see. There it is. Okay. I wanted to ask you if you knew anything about this. I don't know if you saw it on the page or not, but this movie, Death is Not the End. It's from 1975. And
whoa.
It looks like, one of those Sun Classics things, or it's obviously not a Sun Classics film, but
yeah,
it was that kind of weird paranormal documentary thing that was popular at the time.
What year was this?
1975. A filmed psychic experience in reincarnation and procarnation. I don't know what that term is. Procarnation.
Wow. I love this. The thing here. This is the mystery of life eternal is discussed by a number of purported experts in various fields of metaphysical research as individuals who assert that they've been alive before. And it was directed by Richard Michaels, who also did In Your Name is Jonah and episodes of Bewitched and Peyton Place. He was a writer on both those shows. What?
Well, I'm fascinated by this movie because I couldn't find anything about it on YouTube.
Yeah. He directed 46 other movies, tons of TV movies.
This looks like something you would really have to search for.
I'm going to search now.
I didn't check Internet Archive. It might be on there.
I bet it is. And this was written by Elroy Schwartz, who wrote $6 Million Man, Get Smart, tons of TV. Wow. Gilligan's Island episodes. Yeah. There's no reviews on IMDb for it. Wow. Okay, now it's time to hunt for this thing.
Look, Philadelphia is coastal property now in this ad for the this map of the United States after the accident, whatever that is.
Oh my God, this is right up my alley.
It looks good. The distributor was this tax shelter group called Libert Films. And they also, I put together a short gallery of other movies that they put out that we've watched before.
Yeah.
Encounter with the Unknown.
I love this movie. It is actually,
I know it's
somewhat cheesy, but the devil in the hole is scary. Like all of it's pretty frightening.
That is so weird. I can't deal with that one.
Yeah.
And Rosie Holitik is in this one too.
Yeah, and she's the ghostly bride, right?
Yeah, and Gene Ross from Brown Riggs Films too.
Yeah. I agree that no one who sees this will ever be the same again. It definitely...
It changed me.
Yeah.
The person you know now has been changed by this movie.
The best tagline here. There's so many taglines. Filmed in the South where it happens. And also, this movie is so intense. It has two narrators. Like, we already got Rod Serling. We know he's great. But what if we got somebody else, too?
I'm mystified by that claim. Filmed in the South where it happens. So they're saying that this is not a singular. These events are not singular. These things happen there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just commonly accepted that it happens there. You know what I'm trying to say here? It's weird.
I totally get what you're saying. Because it's like, is there a devil in the hole all the time in the South?
I know. How many young ghostly brides are there?
Thousands. I'm seeing if there's anything on Letterboxd, and there's nothing for Death Is Not the End on Letterboxd. That is wild.
How about this one? This is another Liebert Films release.
Ooh.
You know what movie this is, right?
It is the movie they're watching in Messiah of Evil on the screen.
That's right.
Yep. It's poor Joy Bang. She's just trying to watch a movie.
And she had that unending bag of popcorn.
Oh.
That just kept, the more she ate, the more there was in there. That was a phenomenon.
She's so cute in that movie. I love her so much.
These taste shitty.
Oh, for those who love animals, the most unusual animal story ever filmed.
Yeah, Stevie Sampson and Delilah. Why wouldn't you want to go see a movie like that? It's like the original Tiger King.
Yeah, I've seen Roar. I know what happens.
Ask Tippi Hedren how good of an idea that is.
Ask her daughter, who was scalped by one of them. Ask everybody that worked. Jean Dubont. That's one of his first. He was the DP on it, and he got attacked. Like everybody was attacked during Roar. It's a harrowing movie. Oh, did they put this out too?
They did.
Oh,
they were the distributor for the original. Or no, wait, this is the reissue. Wow. My Brother Has Bad Dreams.
Look at that Mistral style font. That's a wild font they have for this.
This poster is so rare. I would really like to own one of these. And it's probably like one of the ones you could get for cheap because nobody knows what this movie is.
Yeah. This is a movie I think about a lot too. Is it's just so...
You do, really?
I do, yeah, because it's so weird. It's like almost a stage play a couple of times in it. And then the ending is just so out of the blue. It's astounding. Hey, you want to see what movies I got this week?
Yes, I would love to.
I got a bunch. I went to Big Lots today, and in the past, when I go to Big Lots, I never find any movies. I had a banner day today, and this is mind blowing. I texted Bill. I was so excited. I got Crimes of the Future. Let me flip my thing. I forgot to flip it. Can you flip it? I got Crimes of the Future for $4 in slipcase. I mean, what the hell? And then a bunch of stuff for way cheap. Let's see, we got First Love, which is a Takeshi Mike movie for 77 cents. What? And Max Steel, it probably sucks, but I got that. This movie I never heard of, Paradise Hills. It looks kind of interesting. 75 cents for a Blu-ray. I mean, and then I got a Beat Takeshi movie, Beyond Outrage, which I heard is really good. And that was 77 cents too. Pretty rad. These ones came from MVD and exciting from Synapse. Hey, look, 4K, bro. Demons.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to Rosemary?
Yeah. There are so many special features on this. So I'm very excited about that. And also,
of course,
the best movie with the Smiths in it, Demons 2. And finally, Bill, I promised some Cleopatra Records. Cocaine Werewolf, directed by Mark Polonia, and it features music by a gothic industrial rock soundtrack from Cleopatra Records.
Wow.
So how about that? So yeah, that is Cocaine Werewolf. And the tagline on that is, you can run, you can hide, but he will always sniff you out. And finally, I got a big stack of movies in the mail yesterday from Vinegar Syndrome from the sale. So I'll go through these. This is from...
these are purchases.
These are purchases. This is from Saturn's Court. I love this movie, 16 Tongues, which is a really strange movie. It's about a guy who almost died in an overseas conflict, and the bodies of his army mates their tongues have been used to create his new skin. He's stuck inside a sex hotel. it's really wild. It's something else. I love that movie. I got Blood Delirium, which I've been meaning to get for a while, the Italian film. These were all the sale ones from Vinegar Syndrome. Another absolutely wild movie, Ninja in the Claws of the CIA. And this scene actually happens. He
That's
keeps
nice
doing it.
packaging.
Yeah, he keeps doing his kung fu while a girl's going down on him to prove that he doesn't need sex. It's really good. Johnny Lau is one of the wildest actors ever. This is a movie written by someone from right down the street. I interviewed him on the site Way Bad Stone. A shot on video Dungeons and Dragons style movie, and it's made in Florida. It is awesome. And this is put out by Bleeding Skull.
He lives down the street from you?
He was born down the street from me. He was born in 84 PA.
Okay.
Archie McHugh, and his.
I misunderstood that.
No, sorry. And then I got this, Bill. I've been waiting to get this for way too long. Deadline, which is awesome.
Ooh.
Oh, great movie. And then we have Cthulhu Mansion, the Jean Pierre Simon movie, which I didn't have. How didn't I have that? And then I talked to you about this, the Bloodorama triple feature the AGFA put out.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
Help Me Unpossessed is gold.
Yeah, Night of the Strangler and Carnival Blood. And finally, Bill, the movie I've been waiting for Vinegar Syndrome to put out for 3 years, Benghazi de los Punks and Intrepidos Punks. And the packaging is amazing. It's exactly what I want it to be. And very, very excited about this.
Those women, did you ever see the video for Lick It Up by Kiss?
Yeah.
Those ladies look like they came from that music video.
They really look exactly like this. And this actress here, she's also in Infernal Rapist, which is another wild Italian movie that Vinegar Syndrome put out. It's definitely worth watching. Intrepidus Punks was on Tubi for a while, but I think it's probably not on there anymore because the Vinegar Syndrome release. But a lot of Vinegar Syndrome stuff does show up eventually on Tubi. So keep your eyes open. And I will be doing the UK Fright Fest at the end of August. So I just started getting, I think I talked about last week, I just started getting the first movies in. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, especially Fall Break 2. aka Mutilator 2, which
I can't believe that exists.
I can't either.
I'm glad it does.
Yeah. Is this going to start a trend of getting more of these? I also want to know, like, are we getting that new Beyond the Door? Like, because you know what I mean? Like, it would be awesome.
I don't hear anything about it anymore.
No, I think once the Exorcist sequel failed, they're like, probably not.
That's a shame, because if a movie about possession fails, then what people really want is another movie about possession. Maybe they'll buy a ticket to yours.
Now, I will say,
a good one.
What were you more excited about, a Beyond the Door sequel or an Exorcist sequel? And we know the answer to this question.
Of course.
So bring it. I want it.
I want some sidewalk banana.
Oh.
I want some fish tank break-in.
Yeah.
I want some fucking Juliet Mills possessed off her ass, floating around the apartment, scaring the shit out of the kids. That's what I want. She could be scaring her grandkids in the new one.
I want the Antichrist too, and I want them to go to the Warhol, and it's just all pea soup cans on the wall. That's what I want. Oh, what a magical world it could be. But I have not seen Crimes of the Future, Bill, so I'm super excited about it. I couldn't believe I found that in a store.
I think about it all the time. I haven't seen it again since I saw it when it was theatrical, I guess, is when I saw it.
Is it worth $4? I think it's probably worth $4.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're not going to be disappointed.
No.
For $4. I guarantee that. I don't know if you'll ever watch it again, but you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's the concepts that it comes up with, it's just so bizarre. And and yet there's something about it that seems authentic, like when I don't know, when he was talking about the rabies disease being spread by an armpit penis and
Yeah.
rabbit,
Yeah. Jenny brought, yes, there is Cocaine Shark, and it was written by our friend Brett McCormick, who did The Abomination, wrote Cocaine
Yeah.
Shark. Under one of his many, what's his, I can't remember which name he did it under. But yeah, Benko Kurtz, or whatever the one name he used for that. So excited about that. On the site this week, Bill, this is the last week. It's sad. The last week of the CBS late movie this week that I'm doing. But I got
so many things on there, and I think, wow, I'm so excited that this was a CBS late movie, The Blood Beast Terror.
Right? Oh my God.
It was old.
Yeah. Like, here's some of the movies that were on last week: Beware the Blob, Blood and Roses, Mongo's Back in Town, Carney, The Alphabet Murders, Highball, and these were all on CBS late movie, right? Like Ghost Italian Style was on it, Dragon Slayer, Embryo, It's Alive 2. Yeah, Killer Bees, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Like, it's crazy how much stuff was on there.
Embryo was that one with Rock Hudson, wasn't it?
Yeah, that movie's really wild too.
I remember that's another one that I didn't get when I was a kid. Then I saw it again. I was like, oh wow, this movie is way out there.
Yeah, it's super out there. And then it works. And then starting on the August 1st, it's going to be Shawgust, all Shaw Brothers stuff next month. And I'm finally going to start whittling down all the review DVDs I've been getting. So there'll be a lot of new movies too. And I'll still be doing the big summer-long challenge of something weird. This week was Doris Wishman week. Next week is Golden Oldies. And speaking of the Shadow, the Invisible Avenger, which was going to be a pilot for a Shadow TV series and actually played theaters, is one of the movies tomorrow. And a lot of cool ones. There's a lot of cool something weird stuff I'm going through and watching stuff I'd never seen before. So really excited about that. But I got a lot to catch up on. But you know how many movies I like to watch.
So, I don't know how you do it.
I'm home working. I write all day, from when I wake up to when I go to bed.
I clipped this for you. I forgot to show it to you. It on the CBS late.
Oh, wow. I love that. I also like Joan Rivers wrapping up a week with Roy Scheider of Jaws.
Taking over the Mike Douglas show.
Yeah.
Joan Rivers.
Wow.
Mike Douglas. God, I totally forgot about Mike Douglas.
Someone posted the 1969 Allegheny County Fair schedule, and Mike Douglas was the guest of honor of the Allegheny County Fair.
Ellen Peck, president of the National Organization for Non-Parents and author of The Baby Trap.
Wow.
I'm in.
I'm sure Phil was like, he had to quiet his audience down a couple times.
That was one of those crucial 70s talk show moments.
I'm telling you right where I was during this Match Game, 100%. Tattletales, 100%. Price is Right, and then I would go outside. That would be my summer day as a kid. My mom would be like, "Are you going to go outside and play?" And I'm like, "Tattletales is on. I have to watch Tattletales."
Match Game would be the highlight of my day. God.
Wouldn't it be? Didn't you think when you were a kid that when you grew up, your life as an adult was going to be like Match Game? Like you would have fabulous friends. I do. I have you, so I do have fabulous friends.
Yeah,
like
thanks.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you thought like, oh, I would get to sit around and play parlor games like this, and people would say, "Dirty Deborah said when she went to the bank," and then it's like,
how dirty is she?
How dirty is she? Yeah, and that's what I thought life was going to be. And no, my life is just like being a writer is like doing homework all day. It's just like more homework and stuff. Also, my team got cut down by 2 people. So they're like, "How do you feel about doing more work?" And I said, "How do you feel about paying me more money?" And they're like, "Do you like having a job?" And I said, "Yeah." So anyway, that's how that went.
Nice.
Yeah, at least I get to watch movies all day. I enjoy that I'm having important meetings, and meanwhile, these like aberrant Doris Wishman movies are playing in the background. Come to Me, Lover. If you guys haven't seen that, not that I'm recommending that you watch hardcore, but if you want to, it's about a ghost that lives in the wallpaper of an apartment and keeps like attacking a girl, and it's weird, real weird. Nora said, "Are we doing when are we doing a triple feature?" She wants to wear us down. Oh boy. If we start earlier, maybe we'll start early and do a triple feature, or we'll do like some 55-minute AIP second features to do it.
Sci-fi bonanza. Yeah. That was great, that Monsterama that one year, because they did 5 movies and it still ended right around the same time that it usually does.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a 65-minute movie. Like when I'm looking for a movie to watch during the day. Yeah. I got to say, if you're into the CBS late movie, and I know Bill is, but there's a lot of YouTube links where they actually have the commercials on them. And man, it unlocks you like a path. It's like a time machine, because you're like, oh, I know where I was, in 1982 watching this as a kid. And I was, I was so excited McCloud was on at 1:30 in the morning. Like it felt like in the summer when you got to stay up and watch stuff in the summer. Didn't it feel cool?
Well, I always wanted to stay up later and watch more TV because there was so much good shit on late at night. Yeah. And I mean, this was before I was able to actually stay up that late. I can remember falling asleep for Chiller Theater. Like I couldn't stay awake.
When I was outside talking to my neighbor, I told you we were talking about the dogs. He actually brought up Chiller Theater. He's like, man, I used to look forward to it all week. And he's not like a horror movie guy, but he's just like, all the kids in school were, and we all talked about it Monday, just to show you like the power of Chiller in Pittsburgh. And it made me feel really good. It was important. It was an important show.
Compels you.
Yeah. And too, like you said, all this cool stuff that ran on CBS late movie, like there's a lot of stuff that played on Chiller too. Like it's amazing the stuff that played on it. I mean, the crazy thing to me is that Bird with the Crystal Plumage played CBS late movie. Like that's and like,
weird.
It's real weird. There's a lot of Italian stuff that played it. I mean, The Psychic played it. Like how cool is that?
Phantasm,
yeah. It's so wild that like you could just tune in and this was on. It's Alive and It's Alive too both played it too. Like it's so cool.
John is doing a triple feature with Ninja in the Closet of the CIA.
You're about to get your mind blown by that movie. All his movies.
She's up for a triple feature one time. Maybe once in a while we'll do a triple feature, but I honestly don't know if I could come back after it would just be talking about another movie.
Yeah, it would be hard, but also Bill and I are talking about maybe doing another commentary for YouTube, so get ready. We'll be debating that up pretty soon of what movie we'll do. So
stay tuned. We have more talking your ear off about movies to do.
Yeah, and if you're bored, you can listen to the podcast, and there's a lot of me talking about movies.
Listen, and a great one about Brett McCormick you just posted.
Thank you.
Come back next week for Piranha 2 and Tentacles. I'm already getting excited.
Yep.
You are too. Yeah.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.